Conspiracy is a pretty scary word. But just because I know somebody who's involved in criminal activity and I'm associated with them, does that mean that I'm responsible criminally too?
Conspiracy is where two or more people agree to commit a crime. I think put it in the simplest form.
To convict someone of conspiracy is obviously easier, since you do not have to prove commission of a substantive offence. You have to prove evidence of an agreement to commit an offence.
The word itself conjures up all sorts of ideas of behind the doors, darkened rooms, smoke-filled, people planning and so forth. It isn't that.
Conspiracy is about, well, there's all this inappropriate contact, something must have been going on as a result of this, or coincidental with this contact that we don't have a great deal of information about, apart from perhaps phone traffic and some paperwork that goes between them. There is a fraud, therefore they all must be involved in planning of the fraud. Well, they ask a jury to believe that. It's a defence team's responsibility to actually say, well, with respect, this is a smokescreen, you've got to be sure of guilt.
And often that evidence is put before the court, and the jury, it may not add up to what you or I would regard as incontrovertible evidence, but it's some material which is put before the court, and the jury is asked to draw an inference from that material to say, this is what we know, therefore this is what must have been agreed. If one looks at that coldly, one can see just how dangerous a concept that is, and how difficult it is or can be to deal with.
You may have somebody who appears to be at the forefront of a conspiracy or an investigation, but in actual fact is slightly lower down the line or far lower down the line, and they're being put forward as the fall guy to deal with that, and that can become quite a difficult unravelling situation for us as lawyers.
One of the things about conspiracy cases which can be really unfair or seem really unfair if you find yourself right at the tail end of a prosecution is that you cannot sometimes be a delivery driver, a member of sales staff, a member of warehouse staff, even junior management, and be assumed to have been part of a criminal plan because you may have assisted in it unwittingly, just by being present at the scene and doing what you regarded as your ordinary duties. It's really important to remember, of course, in the legal definition of conspiracy, you do have to know, you have to have knowledge that you were involved in criminal activity.